All right, artists. For today, you're going to need 2 pieces of paper. If you're at home, they can literally be any type of paper you can find around the house. It doesn't have to be anything particular. I've got a piece of photocopy paper and just a piece of square paper. And whatever you're finding, you could find newspapers, magazines, whatever you need to for one of them. And if you just have one that you can draw on for a second one, you'll be set. You'll also need a scissors and either tape or glue. And you can use both or either, and I'll show you how. First, we are going to take our bigger piece of paper and set that to the side. We need to make a smaller square out of our piece of paper. So this piece, I'm just going to get a smaller chunk out of, and I'll show you how. I'm going to fold it over, and I get to choose about how big the square is by what is left behind. So I'm going to fold this using that edge line, and I'm going to cut on my fold. And if it's not perfect, we can trim that up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my edge here and line that up on my fold as well. So what I'm doing is creating a triangle that has 2 90-degree corners. So this is going to make a square for me, just out of any piece of paper. So you can find anything around the house, and we're just trying to make a square. Each day we work, we're going to learn a little bit more about MC Escher and try new things. For today, we're going to try our first tesselmania, or tessellation. So I can set this aside in case I need to make any more squares if I make any mistakes. But I have my square of paper. With a pencil today, I'd like you just to create 2 shapes, okay? So on this side, you could make any kind of shape you want. I would not go too intricate because it might be hard to cut out. But Mr. J is going to just kind of go through. And I know how tessellations work, so mine might look like something. Yours might not. So it's just depending on what you would like, okay? So I'm going to take this shape out of this side of the square. I'm also going to take another shape out of the top. And these could be abstract shapes. You don't have to pick anything in particular. So it could be, I could be cutting out a square, I could be cutting out any kind of shape you want from 2 different sides. I'm going to take my scissors and cut these shapes out. And it probably makes sense for me to, once I cut this out, this still stays part of this piece of paper. So you could either tape or you could glue it onto another piece of paper. So if you need to, and I'll show you both. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape, and it doesn't matter what type of tape you have. We're just basically making a template or a tracing shape. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape, and this shape is going to slide across and go to the other side. I'm going to cut my next shape out. If you don't cut perfectly on line, right now we're just making a tracing shape. So I've made my cut. This is going to slide across my square to the other side. And I'm just going to put a little piece of tape to hold it in place. If you don't have tape at home, you could also glue this down onto a different piece of paper and then cut out around your shape. So you get to choose. Our goal is to make one of these templates today so that we can make a tessellation. So once I have my shape designed, if this moves around on you a lot, you can just take a little piece of your tape, you can roll it into a circle, and stick it on the back side, and that will help you to hold it in place. I'm going to go ahead and trace it on out. Today our goal is to make a tessellation. So creating your tracing template with two pieces that have moved to the opposite side and tracing that out. If you'd like, then you could go through and you could change this into something. Have fun. Once you're done, please turn in a picture of your tessellation. I'm excited to see what you create.